An American woman has decided to move to Afghanistan to reunite with her boyfriend of 2 years, despite warnings from many that it sounds like a scene from the movie Not Without My Daughter.
I guess you gotta let people make their own mistakes at some point. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, your home for independent analysis and commentary on news, politics, media, and internet culture. And that's where we're going to start with this one because, oh boy, a genuinely crazy and deranged saga has TikTok in a stranglehold. People are sat, they are following along with great interest with the wild ride of this girl, this American girl who claims she is planning to move to Afghanistan to be with a husband who, shocker, can't get into the country here, and she's gonna move to Afghanistan to be with him, even though I think she's met him once, and they originally met on Snapchat. And Afghanistan's not the greatest place for women. You might have heard the Taliban aren't exactly feminists. Regardless, here's a video summarizing the situation that has prompted so much discourse and some hilarious comments as well that we're going to go through. First, let's just watch that recap video.
An American woman has decided to move to Afghanistan to reunite with her boyfriend of 2 years, despite warnings from many that it sounds like a scene from the movie Not Without My Daughter. The woman met her husband on Snapchat. They have only met once in person in Pakistan. After his visa was denied, she decided that she would move to Afghanistan instead. The plan quickly reminded viewers of the 1991 film Not Without My Daughter, where an American woman travels overseas with her husband and child, only to realize later that leaving is not as simple as she believed. In the movie, what begins as a family trip slowly turns into a fight for control, freedom, and escape. That is why many commenters are worried. They said the woman may not understand how different life could be under Taliban rule, especially for women. Some pointed to restrictions on women's education, travel, healthcare, and public life. The woman has said his family told her Afghanistan is not as bad as Americans say, but Afghan women in her comments warned that the danger is real and said she may have little power once she arrives. Some viewers think the story could be rage bait, but others say her older posts look real. Many said they hope she does more research before making the move. What do you think?
So that did summarize the facts, and I've watched a bunch of this girl's videos about this, and she is committed to the bit. So I think there is probably a 50-50 chance that this is rage bait, and then a 50% chance that this is actually real. And first, I'll just kind of talk about the rage bait of it all. If it is, then she's really sticking to the bit. She's very committed to it. I'm not sure what she'd be gaining from it. It doesn't appear to really be lucratively monetized in a meaningful way. And she's like coming up with fake receipts, like she's showing flights that she has booked and all this stuff. And the husband, I don't know, is he a real person because she has photos with him? I don't know. It would be an elaborate rage bait, but I'm not gonna discount out of hand the possibility that she is just rage baiting. And honestly, I hope so. Normally I don't like rage baiters, and I do find them maddening with the Lily Tinos of the world. But maybe, oh wait, I just had to send Lily Tino to Afghanistan. Anyway. But in this case, that would actually be the best outcome, that this woman is rage baiting and just trolling and it's all a big joke, because at least then at the end of the day, nobody gets hurt. People just get dumber and stupid, and arguments happen on the internet for no reason. But at the end of the day, nobody gets hurt, because it is absolutely insane. If she were to actually go and do this and actually move to Afghanistan, she would be willingly putting herself in a situation where women honestly have like fewer rights than a pet has here, right? It is so bad. Since the U.S. withdrew from Afghanistan and the Taliban retook control, it's not just like, oh, well, they closed the schools and women can't get education and they have to stay at home. It's like they can't leave the home without a male guardian attending them. It's practically a leash law for human beings. They can't show their face. There's morality police that enforce the dress code. It's a dystopian fate for women in Afghanistan. And the idea that you would voluntarily, oh, it's not as bad as the West says. You really want to risk I wouldn't if I was you, but okay, I guess. And then also the idea, what if it is? You're not going to, that's the problem with like, oh, I'll just go see how it is. You're not going to be able to get out. Women can't just go to the airport and buy themselves a plane ticket and say, I'd like to leave now. What if your husband says no? He'll have complete control over you. You'll be his property, his dominion. And I'm sure he's telling you all sorts of lovely things to try to convince you to get you to go there. But who knows if that's what's really going to happen, if he's really going to be, oh, I respect your freedom and autonomy. Maybe he's just saying that to get you there. Maybe he has other wives there. I've seen videos where like she talks about, oh, well, his aunt is really close with him and he gave her some of this stuff that I sent. And his aunt might be his other wife's babe. I'm just saying that's a possibility. I don't know if it is or not. But the problem, I mean, this is just an insane idea on so many levels, but it's a big risk to take. Because if you're wrong, there's not really coming back. And I'll say this. You made your bed, babe. We're not sending in a SWAT team to get you, or a SEAL team to get you. Don't expect the United States government to get involved and come bail you out. I'm sorry. I would be totally against that. You made your bed, now lay in it. Like, at the end of the day, I can't have sympathy for people like this. I'm like physiologically, and maybe that makes me some kind of psychopath, but I am physiologically incapable of having sympathy in my heart for folks who literally cause their own problems 100%. Because there are so many people in this world who are sick from illnesses like a cancer that they did not choose and it's not their fault at all and they're dying and it's tragic. There's people who disaster strikes. There's people who are targeted for violence or caught up in wars and it's not through any fault or choice of their own. Then there's like you who really, it's all your own fault at that point. So why is my heart going to break for you? Why am I going to give you some of my limited emotional bandwidth when there's so many people more deserving of it out there in the world? And frankly, that's where a lot of the internet is at with this lady. If she is real, if she's not rage baiting, which again, I think is a possibility. There are some comments who are like really concerned about her and trying to help her and trying to intervene and make her stop and don't do it. But then a lot of people are just like, honestly, not my problem and LOL at you. Because there is an element of natural selection here, right? Which is of course like the Darwinian like evolutionary theory that the strong survive and those with flaws that are anathema to basic survival and self-preservation do not. And that is how a species evolves. And as much as I don't want harm to come to anyone, if you are so demented in the head that you think signing up for Taliban rule is a good idea, at some point that's natural selection taking care of itself. And I don't want any harm to come to her. I'm just saying, but it's like, I don't know. Anyway, let's go through some of these comments because I found them hilarious. She posted a photo. The internet told me not to go to Afghanistan on August 17th, to be with my husband, ... And then the next slide is, so I moved up the date to sooner. Oh my God. Anyway, here are the comments. Packing boxes for things you can't wear or use over there is actually hilarious. This is such a good point. She's packing her clothes in boxes. And it's like, girl, you're not wearing any of that. Like, I don't think you know what the dress codes that are enforced by the morality police are going to be like, but they're not going to be your sweaters and your American clothes. Next comment. All quiet on the frontal lobe. Really, I hope this girl is maybe she's like 22 or whatever and her brain is not fully developed. Because if this is a fully developed adult brain making these kinds of decisions, then yikes. Big yikes. Next comment. I was stressed, but realized this was completely your problem. Yeah, same. 500,000 people liked that comment, by the way. That tells you how viral this is. At the end of the day, same. Like, it is literally a you problem at that point. I can only help people so much by trying to give basic common sense and advice and guidance. And at the end of the day, y'all are going to make your own choices. And some of them aren't going to end well. And I'm not going to be able to keep myself up at night for playing the tiny violin and crying tears for folks like this. Somebody else wrote, y'all are asking her to keep us updated. She won't be able to soon. This is probably true as well. I don't think you're really allowed to be an outspoken influencer under Taliban rule. But what do I know? The next comment, dick cannot be that good. I'm telling you right now, that man could have given that one time they met in Pakistan, could have laid the pipe like nobody's business, given her the night of her life, and it still would not be worth this. Not even close. All right. That is not a scarce commodity. All right. You're a pretty woman. I'm sure you can find something a little closer to home with a little less dystopia involved. Final comment here. Shake your head and tell me if you hear rocks. She probably would, because there cannot be a lot going on up there if you would voluntarily put yourself in this situation. Really, that's where and that's where I have to come back to the sizable probability that this is rage bait. How would you even get to Afghanistan? There's not commercial flights to Kabul. I guess you could probably fly to other countries, then fly to, like, you could probably fly to a country that then flies to Russia, that then Russia has a flight to Kabul or so. I imagine it's not impossible, right? Cause I'm talking commercial. Obviously, there are certain types of like journalists or government officials or people with private jets, or you can go to these places in certain circumstances, but I'm just like saying commercial airline travel. How would you even get to Kabul? But you know what? Let her try, I guess. There's nothing you can do to stop her, right? And it's not like she's not on notice. People have told her. So at that point, if she decides to do it anyway, that's on her. At some point, people have to just make their own decisions and live with the consequences. I have to tell myself this is rage bait, right? Doesn't it have to be? Like, she has to be trolling? Wouldn't you think that if you're like her mom or dad and she was serious, you would have an intervention? You'd have her like committed against her will? Because I would not want my daughter to put her life at risk for some man. I mean, to me, that's a clear sign you're a danger to yourself or others. If you're actually even considering something like this, I would try to have my daughter institutionalized against her will before letting her fly to Kabul to be with some guy she met in Pakistan who DM'd her on Snapchat. Like, she literally responded to one of those scam texts that you get and then is trying to marry the dude and go to Afghanistan. What in the Dateline special psychosis is this? I don't know, man. I'm going to hope and pray that it's a joke and that it's rage bait. And I do think that's a possibility. But I also, remember, we're talking about the brain dead generation. We're talking about the generation that a majority of them literally do not even know what country we declared independence from. We went over the polling the other day. I think it was almost half, or I don't remember the exact statistic, but it was like a shocking amount. And so is it beyond the realm of possibility that a bitch could actually be this stupid? No, it's not. And that shouldn't be a sentence that leaves my lips unironically. It should be beyond the possibility. It should be totally unbelievable. It's not. In 2026, it's really not. I don't know, guys. Am I crazy, or do you see what I'm saying? I hope it's rage bait. I'm really praying that it is, because then hopefully she won't be enslaved. But at the end of the day, if she is, I'm not really going to feel particularly bad. I'll focus my sympathy and my charity for others whose situations are not 1,000% their own fault. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button if you got a kick out of this video and found it funny. Do consider becoming a channel member to support my work by hitting the join button or clicking the link in the description or pinned comment. It's the best way to support me. I call out the left, call out the right, and cover funny and ridiculous stuff like this as well. And unfortunately, that is not the best business model. If I just pandered to one side and just did Team Red or Team Blue propaganda, then I would probably be making millions of dollars and have millions of subscribers. But I prefer to be independent and honest with all of you. So I do need support from viewers like you. Hit the join button or the link in the description. And regardless, thanks so much for being here and tuning in. We'll be back with more real soon.